Good evening, I'm Byron Scott with the CTV News Update. Food banks across the country are concerned about the end of extra SNAP benefits. Officials with Laurel Advocacy and Referral Service, or LARS, say they expect the number of clients they serve to grow exponentially. On average, recipients will receive about $90 less with the end of extra benefits. Shanna Moten says inflation is to blame for the increase in families needing help.
We've already given out more food in the first 6 months of this fiscal year than we did for all of 2022. And we expect that to actually continue that trend to go up. We gave out over 1,100 bags of groceries last year to more than 500 households. The increase is just the skyrocketing inflation. You can see the trend. Before the pandemic, inflation was less than 2%. With 6%, we're at 6.4%, I believe, this month. People can't afford basics. I mean, eggs are over $5, $7, $9 a dozen in some supermarkets. That's insane.
For more information on how you can help the organization, go to laureladvocacy.org. Well, tax relief for working families, that was the focus of a press conference in Annapolis today, ahead of a hearing on a bill before a Senate committee. State lawmakers, advocates, community members shared why the Family Prosperity Act needs to be expanded.
It has helped my family in more ways than one. The extra credit during the pandemic helped reduce our debt. It also, by having the extra money, it also helped us with paying more on the bills that we were behind on. It is much appreciated, and anything is always better than nothing.
My office is dedicated, as soon as this passes, to make sure that we are redoubling our efforts to do the outreach that needs to be done, to make sure that every single Maryland family who qualifies for the Maryland Earned Income Tax Credit is receiving it.
The Family Prosperity Act, which was expanded during COVID, includes the Earned Income Tax Credit and the Child Tax Credit. It's set to expire, I should say, if lawmakers don't vote to expand the legislation. Well, affordable child care in Maryland is a growing issue affecting the economy and public service. Today, the Council for a Strong America and its partners released a brief entitled Child Care Challenges Undermine Maryland's Strength. The report reveals that 900 state daycare centers have closed since the pandemic began back in 2020, creating a child care desert.
Child care crisis costs this nation $122 billion a year. And in Maryland, $2.2 billion in Maryland per year. So the economic figures are certainly significant, if not massive.
We lived in a suburb that was now too commonly defined as a child care desert. Even with my big leadership role and years of experience, the cost of child care took most of my salary to pay for it. And we decided, as many families do, that it was better for our children to be cared for by a parent at home, for many reasons, not the least was financial.
The House and Senate have cross-filed similar bills. Each would add $10 million to the Child Scholarship Program to help support and grow daycare centers throughout the state. Well, advocacy groups are hailing yesterday's vote in Prince George's County Council passing a temporary rent stabilization bill. It was a packed House and Council chambers yesterday. A public hearing prior to the vote lasted for hours. The bill, which passed 9-1, prohibits landlords from raising rent above 3% on most rental properties. CB7 also had the backing of the Alsobrooks administration. Ana Rodriguez of CASA was ecstatic.
We're hearing about community, right? The landlords increase the rent like 25%, like 15%, like 20%, like 10%. That's me. A lot of community is happy about this day. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be powerful.
Well, council members say they have a year to come up with a more permanent solution. And you're watching CTV News. Coming up, a celebration of Black History hosted by Greenbelt Middle School students and staff. Don't go away. More news in just a bit.
For every generation, it has started with the call to serve. Discovering purpose and belonging well-earned. Fighting and winning for our nation and its people. But Marines are never really finished serving. Their commitment is visible in communities across our country. This is Semper Fidelis, always faithful, always Marine.
Welcome back. Fire breaks out at a home in Temple Hills this morning. Crews were called to the 3600 block of Fernandez Drive just after 6:15. When firefighters arrived, they found flames coming from the garage. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Investigation into the cause is still underway. Well, Maryland State Police arrest a man on child pornography charges. The suspect is 58-year-old Richard Brewer of Pasadena. He's been charged with 11 counts of possession of child porn. Investigators say child porn files were found on his electronic devices. He was arrested last Friday and was released after posting a $25,000 bond. Well, the University of Maryland celebrated the recent opening of the 70,000 square foot School of Public Policy building. The facility has been named after Maryland native, lawyer, and late Supreme Court Justice Thurgood Marshall. On hand for the ceremony was his son, Thurgood Jr.
Well, I appreciate you asking, because it was more overwhelming than I anticipated, and all in a wonderful way. It's truly inspiring, but I hope, more importantly, that the students who are here and the students who are prospective students for this wonderful program will absorb that message and take with them the inspiration that the governor and the other speakers brought to this.
Marshall Jr. currently serves on the advisory board of the School of Public Policy. Well, dance performances to in-depth biographies of historical figures were showcased at Greenbelt Middle School last night during a Black History celebration. The program displayed different aspects of the rich history of Black people.
The Black History Month show, but we label it as a celebration of African American culture and history. The featured part of it is our Blacks in Wax Living Museum, where we'll have students dressed as notable African Americans giving short biographical first-person accounts of the lives of the famous African American. We have an excellent chorus teacher, Mr. Peterson. He has his chorus ready tonight. We have a dance instructor who isn't here but had his choreography ready for his people. We have a step team, Ms. Muhammad, and I've been working a lot on the biography. So with the help of our Parent-Teacher Association, who has just been a godsend, and our maintenance staff here at the school and leadership of our principal, we've been able to pull this off. People without their past are lost. If you don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're going. So understanding our history, understanding our journey helps us navigate where we're going next.
Mr. Pugh has sort of put this together. He's been working with the students really, really closely. So just seeing the talent, seeing the the future leaders of America right here in Greenbelt, this is really exciting.
And Kennedy, who are you today?
I am Wilma Rudolph.
And did you know who she was before this?
Yes, I did know who she was. I really looked up and inspired her. I also run track myself, so one day I hope to get to where she is.
And what was the most interesting thing you learned about her?
About her childhood, I didn't know, she's had polio, scarlet fever. I guess I didn't really know her background as much, so it was cool to kind of research about her and learn more.
What's your favorite part about being Maya Angelou?
That she is a proud Black woman, and she has a very stand-up voice, and she's standing up for the people.
And stay tuned, we'll have more news and sports in just a bit.
The doctor said I had a 29% chance to find a blood stem cell donor. But I knew you were out there. And when we matched, it was the best day ever. Dear donor, your blood stem cells saved me from leukemia. Thank you forever and ever and ever.
Experience the true joy of saving a life at BeTheMatch.org.
Welcome back. WMATA says the process to repair and replace wheels on the 7000 series rail cars may take up to 3 years and cost the transit agency around $55 million. This comes as the NTSB releases more than 1,400 pages of documents from its investigation into the October 2021 Blue Line derailment. According to the report, the accident likely happened after the wheels moved 2 inches apart on the rail car's axle. Metro says they don't expect the repairs to cause significant impacts to service on the system. A new report shows that despite the pandemic interrupting in-class instruction, high school graduation rates still remain high. The Maryland Department of Education says 86.3% of students had completed their high school education in 4 years in 2022. However, that rate is a slight decrease in the previous year. Officials say Black students, English language learners, and students with disabilities also saw improvement in the 4-year graduation rate. And we're back with another edition of Pet of the Week. Meet this sweet little feline called Lady. Animal Management says she's about 1 year old. She came to the shelter as a stray just last week.
Lady is awesome. She's very friendly. She loves to be held. So we don't think that she would have any restrictions. We would think that she would fit in to a home with children, without children, in an apartment setting, in a house.
Anyone looking to adopt Lady is asked to contact Animal Management at 301-780-7201.
The Washington Wizards got back in the win column last night, beating the Atlanta Hawks 119-116. Center Daniel Gafford had a great fourth quarter and finished the game with 13 points, 12 rebounds, and 3 blocks. Head coach Wes Unseld Jr. spoke on what he saw from Gafford down the stretch that helped the team come away with the win.
He's going to play to his strengths. He was able to finish, made some free throws. His presence around the paint and the rim had an impact. And whether he's blocking a shot or not, you're going to know he's back there.
The Wizards play their next game against the Toronto Raptors tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Switching gears to some NFL news, Commanders General Manager Martin Mayhew spoke earlier today at the NFL Combine. Mayhew touched on a number of things, including how involved newly hired offensive coordinator Eric Bieniemy will be in the draft process.
Eric will be very involved in the process. We definitely lean on him and Jack as coordinators to know what they want as far as skill set and what they look for in certain players. So Eric will be very involved in that.
The NFL Draft begins on April 27th, where the Commanders will have the 16th overall pick. Simon Buggs, CTV Sports.
Okay, Simon, thank you. Let's get a quick look now at our 3-day weather forecast. Tonight, rain with a low of 49 degrees. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a chance of rain. Temps peak at 68 and could drop to a low of 40 degrees. Friday, more rain with temperatures reaching a high of 54 degrees, a low of 42. And Saturday, mostly sunny with a high of 55 and temperatures dropping to 37 degrees at night. And now for the community calendar. Are you facing foreclosure or struggling to pay your rent? Help is available at a free foreclosure and eviction prevention workshop. Bring your documents to receive help on the spot. The workshop takes place this Saturday from 10 until 2 p.m. at the First Baptist Church of Highland Park in Landover. For more information, contact Councilmember Jolene Ivy at the email on your screen. And that's our news for tonight. I'm Byron Scott. We'll see you tomorrow night. Good night.
My advice to all the fathers out there, they grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.